Human. Humans are the most widespread and influential race in Runeterra, found in nearly every region across the world, from the noble kingdom of Demacia to the ruthless empire of Noxus, and from the spiritual lands of Ionia to the advanced cities of Piltover and Zaun. Human societies are incredibly diverse. Unlike magical races, most humans are born without innate powers. However, what they lack in natural magic, they make up for with adaptability, intelligence, and ambition. Humans often gain power through intense training, political influence, advanced technology, or by learning to wield magic. Different regions shape humans in unique ways. Demacians value honor, discipline, and justice, often rejecting magic entirely. Noxians believe in strength above all, where anyone can rise to power through might or cunning. Meanwhile, Ionians seek balance between nature and spirit, and Piltover and Zaun push the limits of science and hextech innovation. Many iconic champions are human, such as Garen, a symbol of Demacian honor, Katarina, a master assassin of Noxus, Yasuo, a lone swordsman burdened by his past, and Jinx, a chaotic genius shaped by Zaun's harsh streets. Despite lacking magical origins, humans have shaped the politics, wars, and future of Runeterra more than any other race, making them the driving force behind most major events in the world. Yordle. Yordles are mysterious, magical beings originating from Bandle City, a hidden spirit realm that exists beyond the physical world of Runeterra. Though they appear as small, furry humanoids, Yordles are ancient creatures deeply tied to magic and the spirit realm. One of their most unique traits is their connection to glamour, a type of magic that subtly alters how others perceive them. Yordles are naturally curious and adventurous, often traveling to Runeterra through magical portals. Many of them adopt roles or identities in the physical world. Each Yordle has a strong and unique personality. Teemo is an optimistic scout with a surprisingly deadly side. Lulu sees the world through chaotic, whimsical magic. Tristana is a determined warrior defending Bandle City, while Vhagar, despite trying to be evil, often comes off as more comedic than terrifying. Even though they are small in size, Yordles play surprisingly important roles across Runeterra, often influencing events in ways others don't fully understand. Vastaya. The Vastaya are a magical race that exists between the physical and spirit worlds, descended from ancient shapeshifters known as the Vastaya. These beings once had complete control over their forms and were deeply connected to the raw magic of nature. Over time, their descendants became the Vastaya, retaining partial animal traits such as ears, tails, claws, feathers, or scales. Each Vastayan tribe reflects different animals and cultures, making them one of the most diverse races in Runeterra. Most Vastaya live in Ionia, where magic flows freely and the balance between nature and the spirit realm is strongest. They often act as protectors of nature, resisting forces that threaten the natural order. However, the expansion of human civilizations has disrupted this balance. Many Vastaya now struggle to survive as their magic fades and their lands are taken. Champions like Ari, who searches for her identity through stolen memories, Brackern and Xayah, who fight to preserve their people's future, and Rengar, a fierce hunter driven by instinct and pride, all represent different sides of Vastayan life. The Vastaya embody the fading connection between magic and nature in Runeterra, a reminder of a world that once existed in perfect harmony. Demons. Demons in Runeterra are not simple monsters. They are ancient, primordial entities that embody and feed on specific human emotions. Help me! Each demon represents a concept such as fear, pain, addiction, or despair, making them deeply tied to the psychology of mortals. Rather than attacking directly, demons often manipulate their victims. They whisper, tempt, and deceive, slowly drawing out the emotions they feed on before revealing their true forms. Evelyn, for example, lures victims with beauty before feeding on their pain. Tom Kench offers deals that exploit greed and addiction. Nocturne haunts dreams, feeding on fear and nightmares. Fiddlesticks is believed to be one of the oldest demons, possibly the pure embodiment of fear itself. Unlike others, it doesn't bargain, it simply hunts. Demons are incredibly dangerous because they are not just physical threats. They understand human desires and weaknesses. This makes them some of the most terrifying and unpredictable beings in Runeterra. Undead. The undead of Runeterra are souls that have been denied rest, trapped between life and death through powerful and often cursed magic. These beings are usually created through necromancy, dark rituals, or catastrophic magical events. Unlike living beings, undead often lose parts of their humanity. Many are driven by overwhelming emotions like vengeance, sorrow, or obsession, unable to move on from their past lives. Hecurim, once a proud knight, became a spectral warlord consumed by brutality after the ruination. Callista exists as the embodiment of vengeance, bound to fulfill the oaths of the betrayed. Karthus embraced undeath willingly, seeing it as a higher form of existence. Most undead are tied to the Shadow Isles, where the boundary between life and death has been completely shattered. These beings show that in Runeterra, death is not always an end. It can be something far worse. Darkin. The Darkin are fallen ascended, once noble warriors who were corrupted by centuries of war, trauma, and bloodshed. Over time, they lost their sanity and became violent, destructive beings. Their wars devastated entire regions, forcing mortals to unite against them. Eventually, powerful magic was used to defeat the Darkin, not by killing them, but by sealing their souls inside weapons. Now, the Darkin exist as living weapons that can possess mortals. When someone wields a Darkin weapon, the Darkin attempts to take control of their body. Aatrox seeks to end his cursed existence through endless war. Rast battles with Cain for control of his body. Varus is bound within a bow, sharing his form with two human souls. Ascended. The Ascended are godlike warriors created by the ancient Shuriman Empire through a powerful ritual involving the Sun Disk. Only the greatest heroes were chosen, and if they survived the ritual, they were transformed into divine beings with immense power. These Ascended often took on animal-like forms, symbolizing their strength and purpose. They were seen as protectors of Shurima and were worshipped by its people. Nasus became a wise guardian and scholar, Renekton a fierce and loyal warrior, and Azir the Emperor who sought to restore his fallen empire. However, after Shurima's collapse, many Ascended lost their purpose. Without guidance, some fell into madness or became corrupted over time. Even so, the Ascended remain among the most powerful beings in Runeterra, living legends shaped by both glory and tragedy. Celestials and Aspects. Celestials are cosmic entities that exist beyond Runeterra, tied to the stars and the fundamental forces of the universe. Their power is so immense that they rarely interact directly with the world. Instead, they choose mortal hosts known as Aspects. These individuals climb Mount Targon, facing impossible trials. Only a few survive and are chosen to carry celestial power. Leona embodies the aspect of the sun, representing order and strength. Diana, the aspect of the moon, represents change and hidden truth. Zoe, the aspect of twilight, brings chaos and unpredictability. Aurelian's soul, a star-forging dragon, is one of the most powerful celestial beings, responsible for creating stars themselves, though he is currently bound and controlled by Targon. Minotaurs. Minotaurs are a powerful race of bull-like humanoids known for their strength, resilience, and warrior traditions. They once lived freely in tribes with their own culture and pride. However, their history took a dark turn when many were enslaved by the Noxian Empire and forced into brutal arena combat. Alistar is the most well-known Minotaur. Once a proud warrior, he was captured and forced to fight as a gladiator. After escaping, he now fights for justice and the freedom of others. Trolls. Trolls are large, powerful creatures that live mostly in the frozen lands of the Freljord. They are known for their strength, toughness, and ability to survive in harsh environments. Many troll tribes exist, but they often live separately and compete with each other for territory. The most well-known troll champion is Trundle, the self-proclaimed Troll King. Trundle is clever and ruthless, using his strength and cunning to rule over other trolls. Although trolls may seem simple and brutal, they are survivors who adapted to one of the harshest places in Runeterra. Brackern. The Brackern are an ancient and peaceful race of crystalline scorpions from Shurima. They are deeply connected to magical crystals that store their memories, knowledge, and even their souls. When a Brackern goes into hibernation, its consciousness is preserved inside a crystal, allowing future generations to access the wisdom of the past. However, this peaceful existence was shattered when humans discovered these crystals and began mining them for Hextech technology in Piltover. Skarner is one of the last known Brackern. He now searches desperately for the stolen crystals of his people, hoping to preserve what remains of their legacy. VoidBorn. The VoidBorn are creatures from the Void, a dark and alien dimension that exists outside reality. The Void does not seek balance. It seeks to consume and erase all existence. When the Void breaches into Runeterra, it creates horrifying creatures that constantly evolve and adapt. Each VoidBorn has a purpose, whether it's hunting, learning, or leading. Cho'Gath grows stronger by devouring everything in its path. Kha'Zix evolves through combat, becoming the ultimate predator. Vel'Koz studies the world by disintegrating it, gathering knowledge through destruction. Bel'Veth represents a new kind of void entity, one that seeks to reshape reality itself. The Void is one of the greatest existential threats in Runeterra, and its true power is still largely unknown. Before we finish, it's important to know that the races we talked about in this video are not the only ones in the League of Legends universe. Runeterra is a massive world with many unique creatures, cultures, and magical beings, and some of them are smaller groups that we didn't fully cover in this video. For example, there are the Iceborn, special humans from the frozen land of Freljord who can survive the power of magical true ice. There are also dragons, powerful magical creatures like Shyvana and the young dragon Smolder. In Shurima, there are tragic beings called Bakai, failed ascended warriors who were transformed into monsters after the ascension ritual went wrong. From the distant kingdom of Camavor come people like Viego, whose story led to the disaster known as the Ruination. Runeterra also has magical constructs like Galio and Blitzcrank, artificial humans like Oriana and Camille, and mysterious godlike beings such as Kindred and Bard. These races and beings make the world of Runeterra even deeper and more fascinating. And as the lore continues to grow, we may discover even more races in the future. Runeterra is a world filled with countless races, ancient magic, and powerful beings. And the ones we talked about today are only the beginning. So if you want to explore more of the League universe, make sure to stay tuned.